Well, tonight on this special interactive news segment, Prime News with me, Timothy Bassi. On the set is none other than Robert Sempala, the coordinator of Human Rights Network for Journalists. Thanks for joining me, Robert.
You're welcome, Timothy.
Thank you. Well, tonight we are discussing the scuffles, the running battles that have been playing in the streets of Kampala between journalists and the police, following last evening's disturbing incident in which our own Andrew Lwanga, the cameraman here at WBS TV, was assaulted by a police officer. Tonight we are told that you were rounded up in the streets of Kampala. What happened?
Yeah, it happened that we convened a press conference to address ourselves on the issues at hand, and it was massively attended. So after which we decided to march peacefully to the police headquarters in Naguru to petition the Inspector General of Police, General Kaihura. On our way, we were very, very shocked and surprised to see the emergence of police patrols full to capacity and intercepting our smooth operations, our movements, with no clear explanation as to why they were intercepting us, because all the journalists were very, very peaceful. They were very decent. They were not intercepting traffic flow. So it was entirely a total shock to us that they rounded us up. And worst of all, with a lot of force, using unproportionate force on a very peaceful lot of people. But the issues at hand still stood. So we pushed on. We said, you are not part of us.
You are saying issues at hand still stand.
Yep.
What are these issues?
One, following the violent attack of our colleague, Andrew Lwanga, then another journalist, Joseph Setimba, and others nearly surviving death by a whisker, because he nearly ran them over in his car. That is the DPC Mwesigye. So we decided that we had to take very firm measures to influence it upon the police leadership to prevail over the situation. One, we had announced, which still stands, a total media blackout on individual police officers and the activities of the police force. So that is what we wanted to take to the attention of the Inspector General of Police. We also had decided to institute a criminal case against the DPC, as well as a civil suit against him, to make sure that the journalists are duly compensated by him. We also resolved to petition the police council, to petition the professional standards unit, to petition the donor communities, the embassies and missions, because to us this was a savage act by a police officer who do not, by any measure, does not qualify to prevail and supervise a police station.
Now, Robert, we are meant to understand that, yesterday you did address a press conference, and we did see Commander Ruhweza trying to make a little bit of apologies. But it defeats knowledge of any Ugandan that even 48 hours have not yet elapsed, police commits a similar incident. Do you think that the police learned nothing and forgotten nothing from last evening's incident?
What captured a lot of my attention from what RPC James Ruhweza said was his facial expression. He was like a joking subject, a Golola. He kept smiling all through. There was nothing complete to smile about. Indeed, it was a very sad moment to the country, not only to the media practitioners. And you saw him offering an apology in a very casual manner. None of us believed him. In any case, that is explained by the massive turnout by journalists to a press conference, let alone a smooth marching from Buganda Road to Naguru to petition the IGP. because we believed that what he did was in some way a painkiller, which only served to position himself as, yes, we have said it, but none of us believed it was coming from the police leadership, the management, like the case has been today. Today we met the director of operations, Afande Felix, Andrew Felix Kawesi, who offered kind of a similar apology to the so many journalists that had convened in a conference hall at Nagu, the police headquarters. But even then, journalists did not think he was the last man, and have since not called off their blackout until Thursday. But
have you succeeded in meeting the Inspector General of Police?
We have not, because we were told he was on a chopper to Kasese to attend to very urgent matters, but that did not even stop us from getting to the headquarters, because we know it's not an abandoned place. Even without him, there are people manning the headquarters. So in that vein, we made the Director of Operations, Kampala Metropolitan Police. Let alone we made the Director of Operations, Uganda Police Force, Afande Kawesi, who gave us police commitments to protect journalists, to institute investigations into the gross misconduct, and even broke the news to us that Mwesigye had been arrested and is under detention. We said, yes, that is only one step forward. We want him, if possible, stripped of his ranks.
Of course, you had Human Rights Network for Journalists. You are the coordinator of this organization. Are we seeing you instituting legal action against Joram Mwesigye as an individual?
Joram Mwesigye as an individual, certainly, he, even inside himself, he knows where he belongs now. He belongs to the dock.
Are you going to court? This way?
Yes, it's a matter of time before he stands in the dock answering to his actions stemming from yesterday. Is a violent assault of a journalist. He's going to be the second one in a space of now about 5 months, the other one being the DPC of Wandegea, Fande Julius Caesar to Singwire. So you certainly know we're going to meet in court, and he's going to have to own up. The police have disassociated themselves from himself. They say it was an individual. That's what they say, and which we don't even like.
But he was in a police uniform.
Not only a police uniform, but a DPC is a senior or a high-ranking police officer. So he can never do things on his own. And he's in the company of police officers. He's in the company of gun-wielding men. So if people who do things on their own are dressed like him and are escorted by police officers, then where are we destined to?
Where does this put the media fraternity in Uganda? Because we are heading into a very watertight political year.
It puts us in a very precarious situation. We have to up our game. The clock is ticking away very fast. We're really turning towards that very, very fierce battle between politicians and the media. We certainly foresee that. But now what we're doing is to make ourselves ready to engage and cover the elections.
Last we move out because time is not our best ally. How are you treating the apologies of Commander Joram Mwesigye? He has already apologized, and he says that he's ready to foot the medical bills and the compensations of one Andrew Lwanga, our cameraman here.
Actually, we can never feel the same way Andrew is feeling. We know he could be under intensive care now, according to the latest information,
he's being
under intensive care.
On
so we are even too far short to say we're accepting this apology on behalf of him. We should hear from him at some point. But also it's very important that the media guys, the media practitioners pronounce themselves on the police's actions, because they're the ones to institute and make a blackout work, which we certainly know they are going to do. And in this regard, we have some opening that at least the IGP is going to meet a wider spectrum of journalists and going to discuss issues with them.
Well, thanks. We have no democracy here, so we take time as an important factor. But thanks for joining me on this special interactive news segment where I host people of sound mind like you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to appear here, and you know, certainly this is a very important issue to the country, not only to us.
Let's go on for a break. When we come back, my colleague in Studio A will be proceeding with the normal newscast.